With the new update in Season 2025, Lotus has actually come back into rotation after being out for quite a few months. In the past, Killjoy was the go-to pick due to the versatility of her utility and her ult on both attack and defense. However, along with the map rotation, we got our new initiator, Teho. This agent completely changes how effective Killjoy is if he is present, largely because of how easy it is to both counter her utility and her ultimate. This means that Vyse is now a much more convincing pick for anybody who wants to avoid that issue, especially since she is able to defend from multiple parts of the map with lineups. In this video, I'll be showing you guys all of the best lineups, setups, and plays for Vyse so that you guys can win more of your ranked games. So without further ado, let's get started. So starting with the A side, I'll usually put my wall right on this tree. You want to make sure it actually hits this corner right here, since sometimes it will hit this, which is a little easier to trip since you can do it from behind the wall. It's much better than this wall, since when you smoke this off, it's very easy to just psh, and then get back in the smoke and be fine. For the second wall, I'll sometimes do it like this. And same thing, it is very easy to trip since you can just psh, but that's why you usually don't smoke this off. If I don't feel like doing that one, I can also do this one here, since this completely blocks the plant spot, forcing them to come over to this side, which sometimes I'll hold the angle, or I'll just throw thorns and make it even more difficult to actually get it off. Another one you can do is right here, deeper into tree. You'll want to do it to where it's like right on this little like shade on the box. And once you get that well placed, if they do end up tripping it, you can just sit here and hold the angle, and you will be boosted on top of the wall, and you can take the fights like so. For my flashes, I'll either put it right here above the box like so. That way when I do go to swing, I won't have to worry about getting that flash effect and I can fully take the fight. This is all of the angles that it sees, so be careful if they are playing here or here since they will not be flashed. If you are worried about that, you can just place it on the floor like so and then swing off of it. This covers a lot more and is very hard to dodge. Another flash I'll sometimes do is right here like so. This allows me to swing without getting flashed, and this is all that it covers. And for my thorns, like I said, sometimes I'll put it right here. That way I can pop it and take the fight with this wall in particular. However, most of the time I will just put it right in the middle before barriers drop, and this still covers everything. So if they do try to push the tree, you can stall for a little bit more time. And then for a lineup from A to C, I'll stand in this box right here. You're gonna use the top part of your thorns icon like so and do a jump throw. This will land all the way in C main and cut off any players from actually hitting the site for about 10 seconds. So very good lineup to know if you want to defend towards A. For C-site, there's quite a few walls you can do. The first one, of course, is right here on main. I usually do this if I'm playing more solo and they're playing more towards A. This is very good if you're trying to just keep information and keep people from just walking in and taking your flank. Otherwise, I'll use it right here in the middle of these boxes. This will cut off any players from reaching bend and force them to enter this choke. Usually I'll pair it with the thorns right here, and this will just make it infinitely harder to actually push site. Another one you can do is right in the corner of this box. This is a little different from this one just because you cannot jump up here after the wall is tripped, versus when this wall is tripped, anybody can jump here and pop towards your teammates. The only difference is this gives a lot more space if they do trip it to hide if they want to just wait. So it really just depends on how your setup is and how you're going to play it. So choose either or. For the flashes, I'll usually just put it right here like so. You want to make it to where it's still sticking out a bit, but behind the branch. That way it still flashes them. If you don't want to be flashed from bend, you can also just put it right up on top like this. It'll still flash basically everything, except when you do go to, you won't get that small flash for yourself, allowing you to have a better peek. And for the last flash, I'll actually go over here. I'll try to throw this through the wall and do a jump throw so it goes as high as possible. This covers almost everything in mound, and because the barrier is all the way back here, they usually will not see this before they get up to the angle. So you can get a lot of kills with your duelist if they're playing here. For lineups from C to A, you'll do them in this corner. You're gonna see this pillar on the right here. Look at the bottom portion with the right side of your menu like so, and then look down a little bit and then do a jump throw. So fly all the way to A-site towards the tree choke and cover this entire area from them planting. For the next one, stand in the same corner. You're gonna see where the rock meets the building like so. Use the same part of your menu in the middle, and then you'll just do another jump throw. This will go ahead and land in this choke, covering most of the run out. And for the last lineup, I'll use the same corner. I'm going to see this little part of the wall like so, and then use the top part of my thorns icon and do a jump throw. This will fly all the way over here and land right in the A choke, covering the entire thing and making it harder to actually push. And now we have B. I usually don't set up here just because it's much easier to retake than the other sites, and because I don't have a lot to cover for C and A, especially when it comes to lineups. Usually I'll just do this wall because it's kind of the only wall you can do considering the geometry of this map. Another thing you can do with the wall is look in the corner of this box like this, and you can actually have it either yourself or a teammate play here and play off of the wall. For my flash, I'll either put it on this back wall so that it looks deep into main and gets the run out, or I'll place it right in the corner right here. That way I have it for retake and I can just flash and swing out. For lineups, I'll start by looking at this box in the corner. You'll see this yellow like line on the ceiling. Just look at the top part of it with the top part of your thorns and do a left click throw. This will land all the way in rubble and cover the entire thing and making it much harder to push this side of the map. And for the next lineup, if you're trying to hit from B to C, you can stand in this corner here. You'll see the circle on the wall next to this yellow part of the ceiling. You're just going to put the little dash between your wall and your thorns on the bottom of it and do a left click throw. So fly all the way over here and land right in the C choke, cutting off any players from actually trying to enter site. All right, let's move on to attack, starting with our flank watch walls. One of the first things I see a lot of Vyse players is use this wall. It's not good. Please stop using this wall. Instead, go a little deeper after barriers drop and just use it here. The reason being is because you can step up into here and see quite a bit into B main, which is bad, versus here, which you cannot see anything and can't just rat here waiting for anybody to push out of B main. Well, it's just a little bit better. This will save you from dying here if you're trying to lurk, so definitely use that wall. For A flank, I'll usually just put it here. This is perfectly fine since a lot of the angles here don't really matter since you can't see much into B main or C main. But if you do want to put this one, this is a little bit better since it gives you a little more time to react, and they can't rat here since they can't see anything past the A main choke. You can also do it for B, or like so. I'd only really use this if you have teammates A and C. Otherwise, it's better to just use the C or the A one exclusively. Now for lineups, the first one you'll do is stand in this corner here. You'll see this branch that's on the top of the roof here. You'll see these leaves on top as well. Use the bottom part of your thorns icon and just do a left click throw. This will land on the left side of site, making it easier to push in from the A main choke since they can't really hold this angle without taking a bunch of damage. And then for the second lineup, stand in the same corner. We're going to use this leaf instead on the bottom part of my thorns like so, and do a left click throw. This will land on the right side and cut off any players from holding this angle, making it much easier for your teammates to push out of sight, as you can see. And for the last one, we'll stand in the same exact corner. You'll see these three segments like so, and you'll specifically aim right here with the top of your thorns icon like so, and do a left click throw. This will land all the way towards heaven and cut off any players from moving over to drop without taking a bunch of damage. Just be careful because they still can rat in this angle. It just makes it a little bit more difficult too. For B lineups, we'll be using this corner here. You're going to see this flower on the top of the roof. You'll see in the middle between your flash and wall icon, and just line it like so, and then do a left click throw. This will land all the way in CT, cutting off any players from rotating through and helping the site. All right, using the same corner, I'm going to look at the flower on the roof and line up the bottom part of my wall like so. You'll want to do it to where the third thorn is on the tip of the flower, and then just do a left click throw. This will land right here and make it much harder to push out of heaven without taking a ton of damage. Now for C, there's quite a few lineups you can do. If you stand in this box right here, you'll see this little flower on the wall. Use the top part of your wall and do a jump throw. This will fly all the way to the back site of C and block off anybody from coming out to site to help, as well as holding this angle. For the next lineup, I'll be standing right here next to this pillar. You'll see this vine on the wall. Use the top part of the icon and do left click throw. This will land back site as well, cutting off any players from rotating in, as well as playing this angle. For the last lineup, we'll be standing in this corner. I'm going to use those same vines, but use the middle dash between my flash and wall and do another left click throw. This will land all the way in bend, making it much easier for you to push this right side of sight. Just make sure you plan ahead for it, because if your teammates are planning on pushing here, this will slow them. But this comboed with a raise nade is deadly. And yeah, that's my Lotus guide. I hope you guys learned something new. And if you did, feel free to leave a like. If you're looking for other guides on all the other maps, I do have a video on all of the other maps for Vyse. It includes lineups, setups, everything you could ever need. So feel free to check that out. Link is in the description. Hope you guys are having a good 2025, and I'll see you in the next one.